All right. I think we're live. We're going to double check, make sure everything's working as you do. And then we're going to get right into it, aren't we? We're going to get right back into this visual novel narrative experience. Let me pull up the old chat ski on my phone. That way, if anyone does say anything, I can respond to it appropriately. And yeah, we're going to get right into it. This is part 4 of the Everlasting Summer live playthrough. Now let me see if I can remember what happened last time. Last time, the curtain kind of pulled back a bit. We kind of got a lot of information about what Semyon's situation is. We found out that there is a 7-day time loop that the camp kind of exists in. We find out that all of the other NPCs are just that. They are not real people, and that there are certain topics and key phrases that they will not respond to in a normal way. They'll be vague. And most importantly, we found out that Semyon, the main character, is not alone. That there are others who have been caught up in this situation in sort of a parallel universe situation. And a few of them have been doing this for so long that they've manifested the ability to pop into Semyon's world and give him information. And there's all the kinds. There's the scared one that hides. There's the demented one that is a twisted psychopath, and he gets you, and you're the only one that can see him, and he says demented stuff at you, and I like that trope. That's a funny guy. And then right near the end last time, we got the disembodied voice that says, hey, the crazy guy's been lying to you, believe it or not. There is a way out of here, and I know it. And I believe the last thing we did during all that was to choose whether or not to follow this disembodied voice that promises, sweet release from all this. And I think we're going to follow that voice because that's funnier to me. So I'm going to switch to the live scene. We're going to make sure all that's set up right. And then we're going to get right in. We're going to get right back into it. And I believe we're right here on day 7. Yes. Let's get right back into it. So I ended last time with the little dialogue prompt thing on the screen where it's like, follow the voice, don't follow the voice. You actually can't save the game at that particular point. So I did actually have to pick something. So we're following the voice. All right, here we go. Let's get back into this. Okay, let's go. Anyway, he sounded more credible than the crazy pioneer. Of course, this solution could be fatal, but the alternative isn't any better. I just took a shot in the dark. Okay, so where are we going? Oh, what did I do? I think I did weird, demented, well, not demented, but weird ghost. We are already there. My eyesight started to fade, and I felt my consciousness leaving me. And then it's just darkness. Music's picking up. Really? No, that can't be. I just there's no way. Oh, that is funny. That can't be it. That, well, follow the voice and the game ends. I might have to reload the save to right before I made that choice if that's the case. Five minutes in. That can't be the end. No, there has to be a gimmick here. I don't trust this at all. There's no way. All right, where's the rug? Where's the gimmick? Where's the wool? All right, so I have a save right, well, not right before, but a bit before we make that choice, and I'm going to see if it's something different. Otherwise, this is going to be a little embarrassing. All right. The bright sunlight was striking my eyes even through my eyelids. What? Why is it skipping all this? Well, I guess this, yeah, we've already seen all this, so that's fine. So, I picked follow the voice. I'm gonna do not follow the voice this time. No, you know what? I just can't believe you in only a couple of minutes. At least I've known that other guy for a little longer, and his arguments seem to be more weighty. You'll be sorry. Those words sounded like they were coming from another world. The voice seemed to disappear. Of course, I couldn't be sure whether my choice is right or wrong. It was a blind guess enforced by a time limit. Nevertheless, whether I'm right or not, we'll find out soon. In a couple of minutes, I was standing at the bus stop with all the other pioneers. Everybody here? Began Olga Dimitrievna. You're leaving our camp today, and I'd like to tell you something in parting. She was visibly nervous and desperately lost for words. I hope that you'll remember the time you've spent here for a lifetime, and that you'll retain only pleasant memories about Sovnino. I also hope that you became at least a little bit better, managed to learn something, and found new friends. Just come back next year. The camp leader looked away. It's like she was trying to keep the tears inside. I didn't expect her to get so emotional. Although her speech sounded like complete nonsense to me, as usual. The pioneers started to crowd into the bus, babbling cheerfully. I decided to hold on a little and say a proper goodbye to this camp. All of a sudden, I felt a deep urge to throw a coin. Of course, there's no fountain here, and honestly, I didn't feel like returning. But it's just a superstition, and I don't believe in them. At least I never believed in them before. Digging through my pockets, I found only a couple of candy wrappers, a pencil, and a scrap of paper. I held them for a moment. Then I squatted, put the paper on the ground, and scribbled a few words. You are here for a reason. Grinning at my stupidity, I threw the scrap under the wheels of the bus and got into the cabin. I found a place in the middle. But the strangest thing was that everyone sat in pairs, and only I was alone. However, what's the difference now? I'll either disappear, or we'll restart everything in a couple of hours. The bus was slowly moving towards the district center, occasionally bouncing over bumps in the road. It was impossible to see anything beyond the old windows in the pitch-black dark of the night. Anyway, I couldn't care less about the surrounding countryside. I just sat and waited for the inevitable. For the first time in a long while, my head was completely empty. The pioneers around me enjoyed the trip. Uliana and Alisa were playing cards. Lena was reading a book, and Slavia was sleeping. Miku was trying in vain to start a conversation with Genya, and Genya was trying really hard not to start killing people. Electronic and Shurik were crafting something, as always. I was the only one completely ignored by everyone. It might be a slightly far-fetched perception. I got used to the role of being the center of the universe in the camp. I thought that everything revolved around me. Well, that might be so up to a certain degree, but here and now, I'm only a foreign object, an out-of-place molecule in the harmonic pattern of a crystal grid. I'm not sure how long we'd spent on the road, but sleep had already started to overcome me. I was desperately fighting Morpheus, trying to stay awake as long as I could. After all, it's quite possible that today is the last day of my life. Then probably it's reasonable to cling as hard as I could to these few hours of meaningless, useless existence. However, physical fatigue and, more importantly, emotional fatigue took its toll, and I fell asleep. Day ellipse. A sharp pain throbbed through my entire body. I felt it especially sharply in my temples. It feels like they're ready to shatter into 1,000 little pieces, giving the wind free access to my empty head. Probably I would not have been able to stand even 5 minutes of such torture if I hadn't opened my eyes in time. I was somewhere. It was impossible to tell precisely where. My mind was clouded in mist. My thoughts were confused. The moment between the unconscious and conscious states when you vividly remember your dreams. I was going somewhere by bus, and was about to doze off when suddenly a girl came up to me and began to speak quickly. I couldn't understand a word, but the girl looked very upset. I failed to understand what she needed from me. Time passed, and she kept talking on and on. It was getting really annoying. I wanted to ask her to cut it out, or at least calm down a bit, but I failed. Either because I didn't manage to say anything, or because my words didn't reach her. I couldn't even see her face. I was simply listening and staring and listening. Perhaps it wasn't important for me then. Surely you would not try to remember what a mosquito disturbing your sleep looks like. Surely you wouldn't manage to recall the frequency of its flapping wings, or the inclination of its proboscis after that. And this girl is just one of millions of voices that disturb you from concentrating, from thinking, from falling asleep. The louder her voice grew, the harder it got for me to catch her words. The bus cabin, the seats worn by time, the uneven floor, the rusty ceiling, the cracked glass of the windscreen. Everything was floating away, along with her. Then I felt a unique sense of relief. It didn't matter how real the bus and the girl had been. It was nothing but a bug to me. And here I am, hanging in total emptiness and falling inside a dream. Wow, dreams can really be something. Not quite a nightmare, but yet definitely not something pleasant. I got up, rubbed my face to get back to reality, gave a loud yawn, real voice acting, and prepared to clean myself up. It was a really gray morning. Unable to find my hygiene kit on the nightstand, I concluded that I could manage without it. It was hard to get dressed. My hands were trembling like hell. I looked at my reflection in the mirror and checked out my 2-week stubble. Well, perhaps Olga Dimitrievna has a razor. It was only when I went outside that I suddenly understood that I'm not in a pioneer camp. I'm back in my apartment. And I've just come out of my room into a passageway, not out of the cabin. I was overwhelmed with surprise, with dismay, with fear, even with terror. But how? I sat down on the bed and buried my face into my hands, trying to remember the chain of yesterday's events. Yeah, the bus. The last day of the term. Yeah, I fell asleep and woke up back home. Well, to some degree, it might even seem logical. It seemed that the initial astonishment had worn off during the first few seconds. After all, the fact that I came back after a week-long absence is no stranger than my sudden appearance at some pioneer camp of the 80s in the first place. The events of the last 2 days flashed before my eyes in an instant. That mysterious pioneer. His words. But how did I manage to get back to reality then? According to him, I was going to be stuck there forever, as there's no exit. On the other hand, I wasn't alone. That pioneer at the bus stop and the mystery voice emphasized the contrary, that the exit exists. Does that mean I found it? I managed to get out of the endless loop? But how? Nevertheless, I wasn't sure if I should rejoice or grieve. Over the last week, I'd kind of gotten used to the everlasting inner monologue, the search for answers, and the in-depth analysis of everything. So I simply couldn't accept the fact that it was as it was, without figuring out exactly what happened to me. Sure, he told me that I'm the only one who has observed the existence of other guys like me during their very first loop. But does that mean anything? Anyway, all his theories and ideas instantly collapsed like a house of cards. Now I had to decide how I should react. Of course I should rejoice. After all, I'm back to the real world. Maybe the last 7 days were just a dream. Indeed, there's absolutely no evidence I was really there. I don't see my pioneer uniform anywhere. I look my age, just like I did before. My phone is on the table, fully charged. But one can't deceive one's own memory. One can't live through such terrifically real experiences in a dream. I still remember the events of the whole week in great detail. Perhaps I was in a coma all this time. An ironic laugh escaped my lips. Nah, that's not an option either. Then, all's well that ends well? The last few hours in the camp flashed through my mind. Indeed, I wasn't hoping to get out, either from that camp or from that reality. I was pretty much ready to another week. And another one. I'd accepted my role. I'd reconciled with my destiny. And what was I supposed to do after all the stuff that happened? I heaved a doomed sigh, got up from my bed and, with considerable effort, and went to my computer. That's weird. But according to it, only 14 hours have passed since my disappearance from this world. Not a whole week. Now that I think about it, that's about how long I've been playing this game, isn't it? Oh, is this one of those things where it's me, the viewer? That could be funny. A new message in the instant messenger. Hi, Semyon. Yesterday, it was legendary. See you later. My college friend. It was him who invited me to that party with the rest of his college friends that I was going to attend. Suddenly, all my senses came back to me. The headache, the dizziness, all the symptoms of a hangover. It looks like I indeed attended that party yesterday, and I was partying hard. So, there was no pioneer camp. But then, where did all these memories, emotions, and feelings come from? All of this was so incomprehensible that I became enraged. I began cursing foully, trying to tear my hair out and hammering on the keyboard with my fists. I didn't return to a normal state until there were no keys left on it. Why should I care so much? Nobody worries when a dream or a hallucination ends. Moreover, people are usually glad that it happens. Was I really that prepared to stay there that my return to reality became so undesirable for me? And then such a simple and obvious thought crossed my mind. Perhaps I'm just going insane. Indeed, madmen frequently have visions which they perceive as reality. Besides, I had all the symptoms of insanity. I never leave the four walls of my prison. I never socialize. I have lots of psychological problems. Well, that explains a lot. My dark, nervous laughter echoed in the room. Something like that, I'm sure. Guess it's the right time for me to visit a therapist, or rather a psychiatrist. Or should I just surrender myself at the asylum? A horse, a horse. Half my kingdom for a horse. I cried at the top of my lungs between bouts of my manic laughter. Dispute not with her. She is a lunatic. The racket my neighbors made on the wall calmed me down somehow. If I'm tripping that bad, it looks like only a lobotomy could help me. I just sat completely freaked out for several hours, doing nothing, thinking nothing, just staring at the monitor. Long since gone into sleep mode, I finally moved the mouse and opened a few tabs in the browser. So, what's new? F5, F5. As if the events of the past week had never happened. Come on. Do you have to grieve for a hallucination? Was it real? Sure. Lots of memories? Sure. Looks true enough. By all means, yes. Any proof? Nope. The verdict is clear, as is my future course. I have long suspected that my current lifestyle wasn't doing me any good. I wasn't ready for such an unusual event. But so what? I'll have to be more prepared for my next trip. Ugh. I'm going to have a sip of water here real quick. Keeps the old whistle wet, you see. Night. An endless stream of threads and images took my mind off my lamentations and considerations. An instant message window popped up most unexpectedly. Hi, how are you doing? Sure, quite an original way to start a conversation. Doing fine. The contact's profile was completely empty. Not even a nickname, just a 9-digit number. You can't guess what kind of person is on the other end by looking at a number, can you? Sure, someday it will be all different. Unified digital identifiers instead of names, a couple of symbols for a biography, several bytes of personality, and 3.5 bits of feelings. That's how many bits of feelings I allot myself in a given week, too. Get home safely? Probably someone from yesterday's party. Seems like it. You do remember everything I told you yesterday, right? Well, I guess not. There was yet another message after a long pause. I see. Honestly, I don't give a damn who this is and why he is messaging me. Until this unidentified individual starts harassing me, I could easily tolerate his presence on my contact list. Well, that's okay. We'll meet again. We surely will. Sure. Looking forward to it. Yeah. All right. Bye. I didn't reply. The odd, screwed-up day at last was slowly coming to an end. Going to bed, I yet again recalled in my head all the events that seemed so real for me. Where was I going to wake up tomorrow? Would these hallucinations return? Nah, I'll probably just forget everything. Strange, but now I'm really feeling that everything happening now is real. There was just a fiction, a game of deformed imagination, or really something fantastical. And here is reality. Sometimes inconvenient, sometimes it unfolds differently from how you'd wish, surprises you like this, but it's still reality. I fell asleep with these thoughts. Bit by bit, my life resumed its normal course, and I started to forget the events of that week. After all, nothing bad happened. Even if it was indeed real, who cares? There were only 7 days in a pioneer camp. I wasn't killed. Nobody kidnapped me to conduct experiments. I wasn't brainwashed. So why do I care now about the reason? And if it indeed was a hallucination, I can only hope that it won't repeat itself. I was still a shut-in. My computer and the internet were my only friends, and the keyboard was the only communication channel connecting me to the outside world. The F5 key became the main thing in my life again. Come to think of it, it really wasn't all that bad. Yet, one day a familiar combination of digits popped up on the screen. That strange contact of mine had come online once again. Hey. Hey. How are you doing? Doing fine. Probably I knew him from somewhere, but who cares anyway? Any news? Not really. Stability is a sign of true class? One might say so. Oh, I see. This conversation was over for me, but he didn't seem to feel like that. So, nothing has changed? Nope. Should it have? Well, it's not like you experience stuff like that on a day-to-day basis. Not everybody gets to experience it either. What are you talking about? Don't you get it? I was starting to. I'd prefer you to explain. Don't you remember the camp? It felt like an electric shock. All the events of that week immediately sprang up in my mind. My hands started to tremble. A cold sweat burst from my forehead. I turned around in horror, already imagining that I'd see aliens, ghosts, or the Grim Reaper. But there was nobody in my room except me, as always. I ran to the corridor, checked in the kitchen and in the bathroom. Still nobody. At last, I returned to the computer, The same message window was still flashing steadily, as if it was a perfectly ordinary message. Who are you? My hands were trembling so much I could hardly hit the right keys. Oh, so you do remember it. My hallucinations seemed to be continuing. Or did I never leave the camp in the first place? Or it's just a dream after all, or... I don't know what to say. I admitted sincerely. Anyhow, I felt that this entity, that's the only definition I could think of, doesn't need any kind of internet to communicate with me. Well, you can just keep silent. Everything's perfectly clear. The smiley at the end of the line looked like the devil himself, stretching its deformed jaws open to devour me. What is happening to me? I finally made up my mind to ask that question. Nothing. Nothing at all. You're just living your regular life. But the camp, was it real? And what do you think? I'm not sure. If it seemed real to you, then yes, it was real. If not, then it wasn't. It's just that simple. That's not simple at all. What will happen to me next? I whispered. Nothing to worry about. It seemed that it really heard me without use of the internet. Terror chained my whole body. I closed my eyes and curled myself into a ball. Why? Why are you doing this to me? I started to lose it. Words were coming out of my mouth by themselves. Illogical, meaningless sets of words. Why? Why me? What for? What for? Leave me alone. I haven't done anything bad. Several minutes after, I found the courage to open one eye and take a look at the monitor. You are the reason for everything. The message window was flickering coldly. And what's next? Oh, you'll see that soon enough. Everything started fading to black in my eyes. Noise filled my ears and I started to feel dizzy. I felt that my very soul was escaping its physical shell. The events of the last few days became hazy, as if they'd all happened to someone other than me. Then, the memories of the camp started to vanish, as if somebody was using an eraser to thoroughly rub out words written with a pencil. Moment later, I felt and sensed nothing, as though I was plunged into a state of cosmic bliss. If anyone saw me at the moment, they would notice that I was smiling. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck here. I hit the report spam button, closed the window, switched the browser, and glanced at the clock. Time to get going or I'm going to be late. So I'm noticing a formatting thing where when he's in the visual novel, the text is scrolling like that, but when he's not, when he's in, quote unquote reality, it's big blocks of text on the entire screen. Every story has its beginning and its end. Every story has its own outline, synopsis, contents, key points, a prologue and an epilogue. And there is no book which, if you read it again, would not reveal new details you didn't notice before. Every story has its beginning and its end. Almost every. Who, buddy? Oh, we're in a time loop. Well, I'm wondering if this one's a trick. Or maybe that's it. Maybe we just have a very, very short stream today, unfortunately. Herm. So what I will try is I'll try, if this is the end, starting up a new save file, and maybe that'll do something. I still need to see if there's a pull the wool over my eyes moment. Honestly didn't think it would be this close to the, quote-unquote end, if that is what this is. But we'll see. We'll see if they're tricking. We'll see if they're joking at us. All right, end. And leave the screen. That can't be it. There's got to be more. So that's the save game. Let's just for the sake of it, let's just try it again. We'll skip through. Yep, it's already skipping. All right, so there is a gimmick. Oh, okay, never mind. All right then. Okay, so So really, it's just running into the choices. All right. Well, honestly, I thought I'd be here for longer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a couple minutes break here, where I'm just gonna go back to the just chatting screen, and I think we're gonna start up a new one. You'll just have to give me a second to get everything set up. Okay. All right. Thank you for bearing with me, every single person. It seems that in the event of everlasting summer being everlasting done, not so everlasting, we're going to switch to the new game, which is, of course, Chicken Police Painted Red. So, apologies for the intermission. Let's get back into new game. We're going to start a new game. Dead men are heavier than broken hearts.
I ran out to get a pack of cigarettes, but I left my wallet at home. Yeah, that's me. I'm getting old.
I'm getting
My
old.
name is Sonny Featherland, an investigator for 20 years, and once the star of the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department, one half of the legendary Chicken Police. But buying a pack of smokes is more than I can handle right now. Maybe I should just lay low. Yeah, I'll do that. The most colorful place in the wilderness. For all the gods, what bullshit. The last clucking color left this city years ago.
Oh, good.
And slowly
They're going to replace the F word with clock. That's good. I like that. Chicken Police, painted red.
We're living in a vast experiment and don't even notice that everything got clucked up a long time ago. We believe in this wonderland of peaceful coexistence. Wolves and sheep, chickens and hounds. Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It's just ridiculous. The dog eats the chicken. It's in our nature. I'm not propping up the illusion anymore. 121 days, and it's over. retirement. What could possibly go wrong?
Very good. All right. The Rourke District, former Atlas Hotel. We're getting into this.
Ah, crap. My office lock is a piece of shit if a dame can pick it. She stood in the darkness. The light painted stripes on her body. It whispered secret little things that were never there in the first place. But she was no zebra. Reality was just a light switch away. Elizabeth or Charlotte? I was sure she'd
I'm
have
wondering
the
if there's a setting where I can turn
sophisticated
off the
sounding name.
voices so I can do
She had a
them.
bygone look in her eyes, older than this ancient building, and perhaps the whole city itself. Or maybe I'm just drunk. But she was the first womanly thing in my place for a long time, so I had to give her a chance.
Hold on, where's the settings box? Options, audio settings. I mean, I do want subtitles. I mean, that's just sounds. Video settings. Huh. I was thinking maybe if I could... Wait, I could turn down the voices. And then I could do them. There we go. Now we're thinking like a rooster. We already read this part. This is one of the most beautiful memories from my old life. Before Molly left me and took our daughter. The good things in life don't last long. The best ones always leave first. I saw that in the window of a shoe store. I never understood it, or what it had to do with shoes. The Wild Gentlemen. Those guys rebuilt the city after the Great Fire of 867. My heroes when I was a little chick. I'm starting to think they should have left Clawville as it was. Burned to the ground. M.B. Davis, the eternal king of jazz. The photo is from the days of jazz prohibition. I only heard the old man live one time, but I'll never forget that night. And not only because I woke up at the harbor without my gun, my badge, and my pants. Molly, where do you live now? And with whom? I wanted to travel the world when I was a kid, but I think I'm gonna end up dead in here, whether I like it or not. What else we got? Books I'm never going to read. Maybe nobody ever has. I don't even know what these papers are. I promised myself I'd write a novel one day. Okay, let's talk. Oop, cabinet. I don't even know where the key is. Whatever's inside is going to stay there forever. So we have some options. Who is this dame anyway? And what the cluck is she doing in my apartment on New Year's Eve? Oh, I just noticed they have human hands. Oh. All right, let's talk to her. Let me introduce myself. My name is Deborah, Ms. Deborah Ibanez. You're mistaken, ma'am. Oh, really? Please enlighten me, Mr. Featherland. I'm not a private eye. I'd recommend Mr. Fillmore Lowe instead of me. He's a nice guy. Believe me, Mr. Featherland, It's not an accident I came to you. Look, miss, I work for the police, and I'm currently on a leave. I couldn't accept private commissions even if I wanted to. Not even from a classy dame like you. Am I that easy to read? That's my job. But tell me, since you've invited yourself in, would you like a drink? I don't usually drink. Well, I've got to have one, and it'd be rude of me to drink alone. So, maybe some sherry? If you insist, but bourbon, please. Ah, thank the wild ones. That's all I have. What a coincidence. So, come on. Spill it from the beginning. New personal info. Every whiskey is the same color nowadays. At least in this price range. Yeah, let's turn some lights on. Good. My last cigarette. You're lucky I don't have a light, pal. Hey, we got the inventory. My wallet and my badge. The wallet is real. The badge ain't. Chief Bloodboil took mine, so I got this one out of a pack of cornflakes. Just in case. She doesn't seem so dangerous that I need to grab my gun, but you never know. All right, I've got stuff. That's better. Now, if I understand correctly, your mistress is receiving threats. What kind of threats exactly? It's a very strange matter. First there were letters. Then it came printed on a wine bottle's label, sent as a gift. Then carved into a brick, thrown through the window. And finally, they painted it on a wall of the house in giant red letters. I think it's time to dig a little deeper. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some routine questions. Please, that's why I'm here. All right, we've got the question functioning. So we got the inventory. All the essential items, gun, badge, cigarette. These are the notebook. It's where you keep your clues. All of them are written. Got people, places. Okay. And now we can question. Focus on what you know about the suspect. Is he or she suspicious? Concentrate on that. Okay, so it's kind of like the LA Noire system. I've got a detective meter. He is suspicious. I am suspicious. Why are you suspicious? Gather impressions. Every impression asks a new question line. Okay. Detective meter tells you how well the questioning is going. All right. I must be cautious and smart. The dame seems shy, so I must be careful what I say to her. I might have to turn the text speed down a bit if I'm going to be reading. I'm going to turn off autoplay. Let's start gently, and when the time comes, I can go in hard. Who exactly are you, ma'am? I'm not somebody important, Mr. Featherland. You're important enough to deal with such a delicate matter, right? I carry out the wishes of my employer, nothing more. This means simple paperwork most of the time. You've been thrown into deep water, sweetheart. Tell me, can you even swim? Believe me, this is just as unpleasant for me as it is for you, if not even more. Let's get into the meat. Let's get some figures. Let's get some numbers. Tell me, which part of the city do you live in? Calavera Hills? Flowerville, maybe? Look, I don't want to answer that. I'm here on behalf of my employer, not on personal business. Fair point, Deborah. Let's try a different approach. Why did you have to visit me on this particular evening? I have my reasons. I may look like a silly little fawn, and maybe I am, but I still have common sense. I don't doubt that for a second, Miss Ibanez. This day is essential to my mistress, and she thought it's also important to you. A message in itself for sure, but to be honest, even you are. You know what? I'll just take that as a compliment, even if it wasn't meant as such. That's probably a good question. Why did you come to visit me? Why not your employer herself? My employer is Miss Natasha Katzenko. She hasn't been leaving her home lately, only if she really has to. New person? How so? Miss Natasha is afraid. She's scared because of those unwanted messages, and everyone knows who she is. So, she's that kind of woman. I don't know what you mean. Of course you do, Deborah. Thank you, by the way. We're finally getting somewhere. We avoided the point long enough. Deborah is hiding something, no question. Let's focus on that. How did you get this address? You know, my mistress has exceptional connections. If they were so exceptional, she wouldn't have chosen me. Don't be so hard on yourself, Detective. You are the head of the famous chicken police, am I right? Was it a raccoon with a scarred face called Zip who recommended me? He hates me. No, Mr. Featherland, I don't know anyone like that. Lucky for you, Deborah. What exactly did you expect by coming here to meet me? I expected your help, just like my mistress said. That's very nice. But have you seen this neighborhood? Have you seen this wreck called a hotel? Who were you hoping to find in a place like this? Someone reliable. Well, I am reliable. And discreet. That's right. And thorough. No question about that. And has a heart of gold. Okay, let's stop it right there. Are you in some sort of jam? Nothing of the sort. There are simply things better left unsaid. Then you're wasting my time. I trust your instincts. You'll manage it. Yeah, and I have no other choice, right? To be honest, no, Mr. Featherland. Not really. Don't you think this whole thing is a little suspicious? Look, Santino, I'll explain everything. Oh, I have no doubt about that. You look just the type, sweetheart. No offense. I'll take that as a compliment. Or maybe I'll act like I haven't heard it. You see, we're starting to understand each other. Tell me, Deborah, why should I believe you at all? Because my mistress trusts you. Should that be enough? If you're really like what she thinks you are, then yes. Damn, what can I say to that? Look, I didn't mean to back you up against the wall. You have a way with words, sweetheart. Didn't you ever want to be a cop? No, not for the world. Smart answer. Be honest and tell me what you are so afraid of. You know, Mr. Featherland, my mistress's partner is Hobart Wessler, or as most people know him, Ivan Wessler. Ivan Wessler, the Kingpin. Exactly. Feathery gods help me. So you get it now, the secrecy. To put it mildly, I think I understand it all. Wessler, this little piece of the puzzle, changes everything. Woo! Okay, I think we did good enough. Let's see, anything else in the room worth looking at before we keep talking to her? Pictures, light switch, bedroom door. Behind that door lies the kingdom of dirty clothes, cigarette butts, and empty bottles. Maybe in another lifetime, old bird. So why don't you take it to the police? Just go there and file a report. Photos, flashing lights, fingerprints. You know the drill. The evidence is very clear. Even a moderately talented detective could easily wrap this case up. Or just try the phone. 555-111. Please, take a look at this. Well, okay, let's see. I was given something. I know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as a gentleman. Oh, well. That's all it is, yep. I felt like I'd been hit on the back of my head with a blackjack. Reality tilted. Molly. Good gods, what was her name doing there? I glanced at the opposite wall with the well-worn picture frames. Like an eternally dark hole in the wall. A missing piece. She was wearing a light silk dress and singing a lullaby. The waves caressing her beautiful long legs. Why, Molly? Why now? Mr. Featherland. Santino, are you all right? What the hell is this supposed to mean? I don't know anything, Mr. Santino. My mistress told me to give this to you. She said you'd understand. Don't you? Oh, of course I understand, Miss Ibanez. I get it very well. But this case is becoming more and more confusing. It's starting to look like blackmail. Let me just check on one thing real quick. Okay, good. Also gonna drink some water. Gotta keep it wet. Keep it whistled. It's starting to look like blackmail. Blackmail? Don't play innocent with me. But, all right, when can I visit? Visit? Me? Not you, Miss Katzenko. Oh, yes, you can find her at the Tsar Club. Didn't you tell me she's not the social kind? That she's especially unsociable? Or does she only like loud and crowded clubs? No, she's really not like that, but she owns the place. Judging by the flyer, it must be a very busy club, especially on New Year's Eve, right? I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding Miss Kotzenko, but there's one small problem, Mr. Featherland. Let me guess. Mr. Wessler better not know about my visit. Exactly. How did you know? 20 years experience, ma'am. Oh, and please, call me Sonny. It was a pleasure to meet you, Sonny. I'll talk about the rest with Miss Kotzenko in person. A good friend of mine would be happy to take you home, if you'd like. I'd appreciate that, Sonny. Let's look at some personal info. People. We got Lewis. He's the friend. We got clues. My wife is there. All right. Lewis's number is 555932. All right. 555932. That was the right number, right? Hey, Lewis. Am I bothering you? No, of course not, Sonny, old friend. What's up? Could you come over? I've got a favor to ask if you're not busy. For you? Anything. Just a minute. Lewis arrived a few minutes later. He lived in the rooms above, so it wasn't difficult getting here. Not to mention that he is a rabbit. It was a quick hop. The Atlas Hotel was his inheritance. It was once a well-renowned place, but not anymore. The last economic crisis ruined it, and now, beside me, he was the only resident of this enormous place. Let's look at him. The good old rabbit. I can always count on him, even on New Year's Eve. Thanks for being so quick, Lewis. Can you drive Miss Ibanez home? I have some things to take care of. Of course, Sonny. You know, anything for you. Thank you for being so considerate, Sonny. I appreciate it. Don't mention it. Goodbye, then. So long, Deborah. Before I visit the club, I have to take a detour. I got the feeling that this case isn't going to be a one-man job, and there's only one bird in the city I can trust. My ex-partner, Marty. He's going to be at the station. I can only hope he'll be willing to talk to me. All right. How do I leave this room? How do I get out of here? That's the bedroom. I don't see colors anymore. Only emptiness. Everything faded. I need another drink. Murky brown swill. I should improve my standards. I can always count on you. Thanks, old buddy. Don't even mention it, my friend. You got anything planned for today? I thought I'd visit a nightclub. It's New Year's Eve, after all. Well, I didn't mean to hold you up. I'll ask a favor of you someday. I owe you a lot of those, don't I? That's true. I don't deny it. How do I leave this room? Oh, it's probably the map. Main scenes move the story forward. Locations you close up. Clear all these if you want to beat the game. Main story progression. You are a completionist. Visit them all. Close scenes cannot be reached. Okay. We're going to Clawville PD.
It was New Year's Eve.
Oh.
And I was driving, half drunk, risking my whole life's work. But still, it didn't feel any different. Every day was the same.
Every day.
And the 121 days I had left till my retirement seemed like an eternity. When I look out the window of the hotel room I call home, I see the same thing every day. A woman in a red nightgown dances slowly in circles to smooth music. The 9 o'clock show, with a glass of cheap bourbon and the red gown with the silent music. In the meantime, the proud city of Clawville is slowly eating itself alive. And we're still here, with nothing left to lose but our sanity, while others, the smart ones, had already gone. Molly.
Molly.
Does her name really upset me this much? All those years of solitude, and I still jump without question every time I hear it. And then there's Marty, my ex-partner, who hates me. But I know I have to speak with him, no matter what. Why do I feel like the past is watching me on this goddamn night?
So from the sounds of this guy, I have license to be even more gravelly than I usually am. And I like that. I knew where to find Marty. At the station, we'd always draw straws about holiday duty. Marty never joined in. He always took the New Year's Eve shift, even though he had someone to go home to. I understood. 10 years ago, we survived the night the press called the Bloody New Year. Forgotten by Clawville, but not by us. We both left parts of ourselves behind that night. Every time this poster disappears, good old Blood Boil puts it right back immediately. I tore it down at least 3 times already. Actually, it's kind of a passive-aggressive game for us in the Chief. Let's talk to some porcupines. Phyllis and Royce, 2 hedgehogs with an arrogance typical of novice cops. They're as prickly as they look. Officious little shitheads, but harmless. Well, look at that. Hey, Sonny. What are you scratching at over there? I heard the big boss threw you out. Tough luck, boys. I may not be on duty, but I'm still a cop just like you. Well, more than you. Hey, you don't have to be so peckish, old bird. By the way, you're in luck. Blood Boil's not in tonight. Malloy's in charge. Oh, gods, that clumsy buffalo is here tonight. If he doesn't end up in a cell again, he's lucky. You got it. You looking for Marty, eh? I'm gonna give 2 of them the same voice. I see you're still the brains around here, Phyllis. Yeah, I'm looking for Marty. Birds of a feather flock together. I see you're still the funny guy around here. You'll find the giant feather duster at the shooting range, as always. Hey, Royce, I'm telling you this because maybe you'll be able to understand. If this prickly shithead makes another racist remark, I'll strangle him with his own raincoat. I'd love to see that. Hey, whose side are you on, you jerk? All right. Here we are again. Clawville Police Department. I've never been good at history, but if I'm not mistaken, this place has been a church, a hospital, and even some insane cult's secret hideout over the years. Anyway, this place holds the secret of the ages, and some drunk pigs in the basement. All right. Strength, honor, strength, unity. For the love of the wild gods, I'm gonna be sick. With the same thing? All it takes is one look, and my comb starts to tingle, which never means anything good. Let's talk to people. Let's get to know people. Monica Rosen, receptionist, in theory. But in reality, she's doing literally everything around here. Like the beating heart of the PD. She's too good for this place. Even for this city. Hey, Monica. Hey, boss. Well, what am I gonna do? Hey, Boss Bird. What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be celebrating somewhere? Every day's a holiday since I got out of here. I can tell. But what are you doing here? Are you here for a file? You know, I'm a little busy right now. Yeah, you could look after a few things for me. But first, I'd like to talk to Mr. Big Beak McChicken himself. Those prickly assholes told me he's emptying the magazines in the hole. Like always. And if he carries on like that, he's going to use up all our ammo. So it would be nice if you'd drag him out of there. You know how this day is for him. For him? You know I didn't mean it like that. Yeah, I know. Okay, so just sign here and you're good to go. Thank you, darling. Don't mention it, Boss Bird. Alright, so his name's Marty McChicken, and he's a cop, so I'm gonna take this liberty to do my awful Irish accent. I hope everyone can stomach that. This is gonna be a hard ride. Last time we saw each other, he had a smoking gun in his hand, and I was bleeding. I don't know how we can get past that, but it's worth a try. The lights are on. Let's talk to Marty. Let's look at Marty. Marty looks good. Big and loud and angry as always. Hey, Marty. Oh, wait. No, hold on. Look who's here. Oh, well, look who's here. Hello, Boss Bird. What, are you lost? This is the PD building, you know. It's more like Scottish, but we're gonna roll with it. Cut the shit, Marty. We're better than this. Well, at least you are. Better than anyone, huh? Marty, come on. Let's forget that. What's past is past. Easy for you to say, Sonny. Damn it, Marty. You shot me, remember? I almost bled to death. Hell yeah, I remember. Unfortunately, my aim wasn't good enough. I need your help, okay? That's what you want to hear? Well, it's a start. Okay, I've said it. I won't do it again. Yeah, right. So, are you in? Just for tonight. Small case. We'll wrap it up in no time. Eh, what kind of case? A personal one. How personal? Very. The kind of case where if you come with me right now, you're not on duty anymore. Oh, damn, Sonny. Stop it right there. I'm in, okay? That's it. Oh, do you know how boring life is here? Without your stupid, reckless shit. Soon enough, I'll shoot all the ammo in here out of boredom. Right, so tell me, what's it about? I'll tell you in the car. Oh, can I bring Bertha? Ah, for the love of... Marty, this is a routine case. You can't bring your shotgun, okay? Bertha stays. Okay. But at least Susie can come, right? All right, Susie can come. That's what I want to hear. All right, Marty's a gun guy, and also he's going to be Scottish, because I'm pretty sure that's what I'm doing. Three gods are revered among the wilderness, the great wild ones, the holy trinity of creation, destruction, and silence. Okay, cool. We got some people. We got Blood Boil. He's the chief of police, I believe. Alright. We do some shooting practice. Aim your gun at enemies and avoid shooting hostages. It's as simple as that. Okay. Oh, I gotta reload. I'm on boots. How do I reload? Oh, like that. Oh, fuck. Well. Oh, I gotta get someone's high score. What? That wasn't my fault. I keep forgetting what's the reload button. What? Civilians keep getting in the way of my gun. Alright. I'm not doing this because I do not think it's a nice score. I really should doesn't happen. That was close. We need to get this. Shooting. Alright. Second place. Good enough. We only shot 2 civilians that time, Marty. That's pretty good. Hey, Marty. What about Laura? How come she didn't eat you yet? Yeah, very funny. But good, by the way. Mostly. As good as we can be after all these years. Glad to hear it. She asked a lot about you. Really? Yeah, she always hated you for getting me into trouble all the time. Understandable. But she also felt sorry for you. Thanks, that's, much better. If I'm honest with you, she loved the chicken place Marty better than this one. Well, I think I'll take that as a compliment. Whatever, Sonny. Alright, let's exit. Still drink coffee? Yeah, my only poison. Except for guns, of course. And women. We could visit our old haunt. What do you think? Ah, nice cup of Zips coffee up in the hot dog. I'm in. Oh, and maybe we'll get into a little fight too, huh? If it comes to that, I'm leaving you without a blink. Oh yeah, like last time. Those were different times, Marty. With a different Sonny. Well, all right. To the city, then. You don't have to come with me, you know. Okay, I know. Let's go. Sonny, there's a little problem. Not so little, and it smells, too. What in the furry hell is Blood Boil doing here? Well, it seems like we can't avoid speaking with him, or speaking to him. Ah, yes we can. You have your rifle with you, right? What? Just kidding. Sort of. Bosco. Oof, got to say, good old Bosco looks like shit. Shite. Yeah, like a beaten dog. You, on the other hand, you just got older. Way older. Shut the clock up, Marty. I see you're swamped, buddy. I sent the old lizard away. I don't need him to foul the air anymore. I hate his kind anyway. What, because he's a reptile? No, because he's a good-for-nothing piece of shit. Ah, yeah, that's true. And you? You letting off some steam? Something like that. We'll go and check out some seedy joint. We're cops after all, ain't we? And this is still Clawville. That's true, pal. Protect and serve. Get the room, you two. Shut up, Marty. New function, ask. Look, ask. Let's ask about hot dog. What have you heard about the hot dog? Is it still standing? Yeah, it is. I don't frequent in that neighborhood. You shouldn't either. Things have escalated there recently. What do you know about Ivan Wessler? What's that old rat been up to lately? They say he's keeping a pretty low profile these days, but he's been seen in the company of the Attorney General. Attorney General Hamtaro, eh? Well, that's interesting. Thanks. Why are you so interested in that rat? If you want another hole in your comb, I could help too, you know. It's just professional curiosity. Yeah, of course. And I'm a fluffy little Labrador. Hey, you forgot to mention the nugget in this case, Sonny. Hi, been clucking Wessler. What the hell did you get into? Far as I remember, you didn't let me tell you in the first place. Well, you're in now. No way back. You're a piece of shite, Mart. Sonny, you hear me? What's this all about? I switched over to this when I realized maybe 20 to 30 minutes into Everlasting Summer that I was at the end of Everlasting Summer to the best of my recollection. I'll do some digging and see if if there is like another route or something that I need to do, but I did 2 endings with the 2 save files I have and I didn't find anything, and I almost don't want to look it up, but I will just for the sake of seeing if there's more. But for now, we're back to the chicken one, and we're gonna do a little anthropomorphic animal cop stuff. So sit back and enjoy. I switched over to this maybe hour ago. Also, forgive my terrible Scottish-ish accent. This guy's name is Mac Chicken, and I went for it. It's okay. You're allowed to be late. Things happen. You're a piece of shite, Sonny. You hear me? What's this all about? Easy, chicken. I'll tell you everything soon enough. Let's just get the hell out of here first. Have I already told you it's a pleasure working with you again? No, but that's always good to hear, partner. Fifth, clock off. All right, let's talk to this dog. The chief doesn't seem to be in a good mood, but he never is, actually. What a surprise. The two pigeons back together. And without my permission, of course. Chief Bloodboil. Damn. What was that, Santino? Nothing, sir. What a lovely evening, am I right? I don't want to hear your crowing, Santino. What the hell are you doing here? Hey, careful with the racist barking, old hound. Oh, it's getting hot in here. Can we just skip this part? It's New Year's, after all. And you're on duty, if I'm not mistaken, Martin. Where do you think you're going? That's it, boss. To serve and protect. Sonny was in the neighborhood and stopped by to say hi. He's a cop too, right? Only on paper, and you know that very well, detective. I don't want any trouble, boss. I just wanted to say hi to Monica. Then this feather pillow showed up. I invited him to grab a quick coffee. You can allow him that much, can't you? Your coffee breaks usually end up in shooting or brawling, chickens. Oh, just a coffee, boss, I swear. Have a heart. It's New Year's Eve, and I haven't seen my old partner in so long. How touching. You shot him with a shotgun, if I remember. Ugh. Family quarrel. For all the marrow bones in the world, get the hell out of my sight. Have a lovely evening, boss. You especially. Fuck off right now, Santino. Lovely. What a lovely interaction we're having. All right, anything else in here? Ooh, a vending machine. You still drink that garbage? Hey, it's not garbage, okay? Allegedly, they've used it as medicine once, if you must know. Yeah, once. They used to heal with bloodletting too, Marty. Don't believe everything that's on these labels. You're not a little chick anymore. Okay, Dad. Let's see. Was there one more thing I could ask him? Yeah. Why is it so quiet in here? Shouldn't it be a madhouse by now? The midnight madness is yet to come, Sonny. Just wait for it. My time's too valuable for that, pal. And you're trespassing. Rules of suspension, remember? I can see that you're up to no good. Who? Us? Ridiculous. If you say so. But I advise you keep it low. Especially you, Sonny. How many days do you have left until retirement? I don't even know what I'm drifting into with Bosco, but we're doing it. 121. 120 soon. Don't be a knucklehead and get yourself fired. Thank you for your eternal wisdom, Bosco. I'm definitely coming to you again next time. All right. Where's that map at? We can't avoid speaking with the chief first. And it would be nice to say goodbye to Monica, too. All right, guess we're speaking to him again. What is it, Santino? Nothing, sir. And you? Need something, Martin? No, sir. Then get out of my sight, birds. All right. We're leaving, sweetheart. Stay safe, boys. I'm glad to see you two together again. I'm afraid you're alone with that. Hey, don't make me change my mind. You won't, Marty. I bet you can't wait to get mixed up in some serious trouble again. Yeah, that's true. I'm serious, boys. Be careful out there. We're big birds, Monica. We can take care of ourselves. Mostly. Okay, but take care of each other, too. Will do, Monica. Yes, Mom. All right, now we can leave. We're going to the Hop Dog first, if I recall. The Hop Dog was like the last warning. You can still turn back. My eyes lingered on the sign. An enormous dog, like a neon god with limitless power over cheap hot dogs, plastic hamburgers, and watered-down coffee. The cold light called me, but I didn't want to get out of the car. If we went in, we were all going to be pancakes, kept together by cold syrup. Marty's worried look shook me out of my reverie. Oh, Cluck, was I talking to myself again? Fly Guy. Look at the poor bastard. He's looking okay, Marty. But remember what we saw when we worked at the hive. Wild ones, don't even remind me. I'm trying to forget that shit every day. It's been even worse since. I guess you heard about the riots. Who hasn't? You know, people are afraid the Great Fire will happen again, and those hive houses are pretty damn flammable. Now, don't speak of the devil, Marty. But to be honest, I have no idea how this insect matter can be resolved. I do. We just open the ghettos and let the insects live among us like they did for centuries. Your heart is pure gold, Bunny, but you know it's not easy. Clawville isn't what it used to be. Let's talk to the Fly Guy. Hey, pal. Can you hear me? Guess not. That's a shame. I was hoping to do a real buzzy voice for him. Peaceful, isn't it? 'Cause the whole town's probably drunk by now. Maybe that's the only way it can bear itself. Doesn't it remind you of someone? Shut up, Marty. Got you there, old bird? Alright, let's get in there. Oh no. Speciesism. That's no good. There used to be such life around here before it became an insect ghetto. That was a very long time ago, Marty. I was a little chick, and the Hop Dog had the best pancakes in the entire city. Well, since Zip became the owner, the cook, and the waitress, I imagine it's all gone downhill. True. But at least the coffee's good. That's right. I have no idea what that mongrel's doing with it, and I don't want to know. But its aroma is unbeatable. Let's get in there. The place is deserted. Poor Zip. You're right. Yeah, the guy's middle name is Bad Luck. That's for sure. Alright, let's take a look around. And voila, the master himself. What a finch. Here, Sonny, he's a pigeon, not a finch. Don't make me angry, Marty. Okay, I was only joking. Alright, got some beards. Got the menu, got the jukebox. Just a handful of feathers get a bite of me, baby. The city is on fire. Not all cops are pigs. Shadow of a doubt. These are good. Ooh. We can actually change the music while we're listening to it. Let's take a look at that menu. Almost ham and tomato. Quasi meat and cheese. All but bacon and chocolate. All for fowl pancakes. Touche soufflés. Melon soufflé. Old Zip knows best. A lot of synthetic meat. I guess that's fair. Oh, I bet there's going to be a scene later where we're at like a meat packing thing and we find out that the synthetic meat's real animal people. That door didn't look like this last time. Yeah, because last time you tore it out and beat that baboon with it. Oh, yeah, I remember now. So that's why Zip remodeled the whole place. He had to. We didn't leave much of it standing. If I didn't know how nice we are, I'd almost hate ourselves. Welcome to the club, partner. All right, let's talk to Zip. Let's look at Zip. He sure didn't get any younger. Or prettier. Do you think he's still mad at us? Frankly, Marty, I don't give a damn. Hell yeah, let's get in there. Hello, boys. Now get the hell out of here while I'm asking nicely. Hey, is that how you greet two old friends? Hey, I'm not joking, Sonny. I've got a shotgun under the bar. No, you don't. Because if you had, we'd arrest you right here and now. If there's still life in you when you're full of buckshot. Oh, it's going well so far. We're just here for a coffee, Zip, okay? Like old times. Nothing's like old times. Haven't you noticed? Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's quite noticeable. Shit. All right, and where'd you blow in from? We haven't been anywhere, yet, but we're going somewhere. Everybody's going somewhere, right? Tell me, how much do you know, Zip? That depends. How deep is it? Bottom of the well kind. Goes down around Ivan Wessler. Holy hell, Wessler? You've dipped your wings in deep shit, boys. If you've got anything on him, don't keep it to yourself. We'd be grateful. Grateful? Maybe you're not going to trash my joint this time, eh? You know, Ivan's acting strange nowadays. He's always believed that if you want something done, you do it yourself. That's how it was for years, anyways. But now he's left his real estate, the fish racing clubs, the casinos, and the bars to his right-hand man, Mongrel Mick. And ever since he's been kind of weird. He's just been brooding in the seediest joints of the city. Nobody ever knew him to be like this. Weird, huh? I'm going to slow down the text speed a bit. That's not the information I needed. I guess I can replay it too if I need to. Yeah, weird. Do you think it's about a lady? It's always been about a lady. Well, there is a woman. I knew it. But not like what you think. Is it gonna cost much? Only a favor, like the good old days. Okay, I'm in. Let me see if I can slow down the text speed. Not from there. Can I save the game from here? No. Exit to the menu. Options. I'll slow it down just in case. Anyways, where were we? This guy wants a favor. Nothing new has changed, I don't think. Let's ask some questions. Hey, you ever been to that place? Of course, 100 times. Everyone who matters in the city's been there. Sorry, guys. But then it had a different name and a different owner. Business affairs, right? Brr. That was a dark era, Sonny. I don't want to talk about it. Roger that. I got to say, you've revamped the joint pretty well. After you two trashed it, I had to. Look, I'm sorry, Zip. That ocelot and his gorilla. Baboon, not gorilla. Whatever. Sonny, what's your beak?
So, you owe me one until about the end of time. But I'd settle for you washing up here for a few years after retirement, Sonny.
Mind your tongue, furball. So, Ibben's gone insane.
Love will kill you in the end, they say.
It seems like everyone's in a poetic mood today. You're one to talk, by the way. Why? So, about that woman. Is she really that dangerous?
What woman isn't? What woman isn't, eh?
No, Zip. I mean really dangerous.
She's got the most influential gangster of the city wrapped around her finger. She calls him her little furball. How dangerous you think she is?
Huh. You didn't get any younger, pal.
You're telling me? You look like you haven't had a good night's sleep since forever.
To be honest, I've never had a good night's sleep in my life.
You will when the big sleep comes.
And what are your plans? Dying behind the bar?
Of course. You got a better idea?
A couple, yeah. But somehow this suits you.
You know what? Your mother is a goat.
All right.
That Natasha's a mysterious woman. A real cursed jewel, if you ask me. She came out of nowhere 2 or 3 years ago and landed on the stage of the Millions almost immediately.
Is that so? Interesting.
She's got a fantastic voice, makes men go crazy. But we all know that's not what's important. And then suddenly, bam! She's got the whole club, just like that. But we know exactly how it was.
I can imagine, yeah. And since then, it operates under the name the Czar Club, right?
The old clicker's still clicking, right? Yeah. The club was renamed and remodeled. Everyone knows she was Ivan's lover, but she's not your usual canary. She didn't get involved in Ivan's dirty dealings.
Then how exactly does she fit into the picture?
Check this. A few months ago, the old rat pulled out of his old businesses and gave control to Mongrel Mick and his mob.
Mongrel Mick? Doesn't sound familiar.
Mick the Marauder, ring a bell?
Damn, that little monkey came this far.
Heft. I think that little shick took advantage of Ivan not being himself.
Which has something to do with this Natasha, right?
That's my guess.
Thanks for the straight dope, Zip. We owe you one.
One? You owe me the price of a new coffee shop, remember?
Okay. Whatever you need, just call us.
I clucking will.
Thanks, pal.
Hey, I'm not your pal, Marty.
All right. We got doodles. Where did all the colors go? Well, that's a good question, pal. Huh. What insight. The highlight of my day. Yeah, I can smell it already. How does he make the coffee here so special? Look at that mangy trash panda and tell me, do you really want to know? You're right. As always. Anything else? I don't think so. Clawville PD, hotel. Let's hit the club.
Midnight had passed, and the intoxicated madness kicked in. We could only crawl along Shalva District's main street toward downtown.
I'm gonna drink some water while this happens.
The city's heart beat differently. Ancient buildings were defaced by neon signs and billboards, like half-drunk lovers on a fine leather sofa. Great old houses neighbored by garish modern blocks. A place that makes the head hurt. The Tsar's huge neon sign was visible for miles. A blazing red sign advertised tonight's main attraction, the amazing Natasha. Cops were never welcomed at places like this. I hoped we were too late for the show. We had to be inconspicuous, but it was never easy with this bird mountain by my side.
All right. Huh. So this is the famous Tsar Club. More like infamous, Marty. It's not for our kind, that's for sure. And I don't mean that they don't like foul here. Well, at least we don't have to be afraid that they see you as a detective, Boss Bird. Very funny, Marty. So, what are we gonna do now? We find Natasha, the broad who sent me the message, remember? But first, I need to get into the club. And Marty, please don't monkey this up. Excuse me on behalf of the well-respected and noble primate community of Clawville. Cut the crap, Marty. Let's focus on what we're here for, okay? As you say, Boss Bird. Here's a familiar face. Hey, that's your old friend, right? Wait, what was his name? Lawrence? Lamar? No, Liam. Lewis. Yes, it's him. To be honest, Sonny, I always thought that guy's not all there in the head. Nobody's perfectly sane in Clawville, Marty. But if not for this old rabbit, I wouldn't be here today. I'll never forget that. Should I thank him for that? Or kill him for it? You're reading my mind, boss. Stork lady. Honestly, I think these types of women only see faceless tuxedos, cufflinks, and wallets. And in the mirror, they're just brooches, necklaces, and earrings. Don't be so radical, Marty. They're women. They live by different rules. That was kinda deep. It's not. Just bullshit. There's more where that came from. Oh, teach me, master. When you're old and wise like me, you'll realize none of it is worth a damn thing. Wait, that was deep again, right? Maybe it was, Marty. Maybe it was. Amazing. All right, fancy car, advertisement tower. I like this. Why is that? I don't know. 'Cause it's moving, I guess. You're a simple bird, aren't you? Yes, I am. Moonlight Boulevard. We talk to Lewis?
Sonny, my dear friend.
Hi, Lewis. This is my partner, but I'm sure you already know.
You have no idea how happy I am to meet you, Mr. Marty. I'm a big admirer of your work.
Pleasure's all mine, Lawrence.
Lawrence? Anyway, so the legendary chicken police back together. Isn't it amazing news?
Don't ruffle my feathers, Lewis. Those days are long gone. We're just here for the entertainment. Or something like that.
I see. That's a shame.
See you inside?
I have something to do, my pal, but I'll try to make it for the main event.
Okay, then. Catch you later, pal. Let's not bother her.
Okay, boss.
Let's look at this fancy car.
Whoa, look at that. Isn't that the new? It is, Marty. A brand new 924 Silverhawk. Haven't seen such a beauty since I left Elvira. Of all that's furry, whose is it? Maybe it's Ivan Wessler's. I guess he's no paper tiger. Yeah, he sounds like a fella who drives around in one of these. Lucky bastard.
All right.
Jeez, look at that guy. That's not a guy. That's a demon. Straight from the dog-eared pages of a cheap detective novel. Yeah, I bet his name's Bill. Nah, he's definitely a Bob. $5 for Bill. Okay, I'm in. Howdy, pal. Gentlemen, how can I help you on this wonderful chilly night? We're expected in the VIP lounge. My apologies, but I don't remember ever seeing you gentlemen here before. May I ask? Stop right there, big guy. I get it. I know exactly how this works. So what do we have to do to get in? Nothing's easier, sir. Are you on the list? The list? Yeah, don't tell me you forgot. I'm afraid I did, Marty. Sorry, big guy. I'm pretty sure we're not on the list tonight. That's a shame. I'm really sorry, sirs. In that case, you can't come in. Yeah, right. Thanks. My pleasure, gentlemen.
All right. Let's see if we can get some more out of this guy.
Look, I really don't want any trouble, but... it is even more inconvenient for me, sir, but this place doesn't like coppers. Forgive the slang. I can't let just anybody in, and there are some I'm strictly forbidden to. Please, you have to understand. Listen here, you cow. Do you have any idea who we are? You ever read the papers? Of course I know who you are, sir. I read the news and more. I must admit, it's an honor to meet you in person, Mr. Santino Featherland and Mr. Marty McChicken. The Bell of the Pantheress is one of my favorite books. Oh my God, not the books again. So it would be terribly inconvenient for me if I had to use force on you, gentlemen. What did you just say? Relax, Marty. This guy has chicks like you for breakfast. Thanks for the information, pal. Have a nice night. Thank you for your understanding, gentlemen. And forgive me for my austere composition. No problem, Shakespeare.
We might as well ask.
Say, big guy, you know Mr. Lewis Hayworth? Oh, but of course. Mr. Hayworth is an impeccable gentleman, and also a frequent visitor of the club. Is that so? Good to know. And I'm afraid that is all, monsieur. What can you tell me about the first lady of the place, big guy? You mean Miss Natasha Katzenko, sir? You're right on point, pal. Nothing you don't know already, sir. Just try me. Well, she owns the place. And that's it. Well, that's unbelievable. Pardon, monsieur, but I'm not permitted to say anything more.
All right. Let's see what we got. We got the entrance.
The fella's built like a brick shithouse. I don't think we'll be able to just sneak past him. Wanna bet? Oh, no. Wanna bet? Not today, Marty. Remember, we must avoid suspicion. Okay, no trouble. I get it. It's okay, Bertha. Maybe next time. What was that? Nothing. Just the wind. Did you bring Big Bertha with you? Gods no. What are you thinking? What idiot would bring a shotgun to a club? Was that a rhetorical question? All right. Do you remember when the Clawville Chronicle was really a high-quality newspaper? You mean when they wrote something about us daily? Yeah? What exactly happened to them? Well, they got bored of us, Marty. And to be honest, so did I. But still, here we are, working together again. Funny, huh? Yeah, hilarious. Let's see, anything else? One day, neon signs will cover the whole world, I'm telling you. You read that in some kind of science fiction book? No, it's just what I think. Ah, so you have your own thoughts now. The world's really moving forward. Clock off, Sonny. Czar Club, the most colorful club of the most colorful city. My city is on fire. Brand new hit from the Queen of the Night. Look, Lewis, that bouncer over there. Well, yes, he's a bit intimidating, but his manners are impeccable, am I right? Yes, indeed. But it seems tonight we're not on his list. Oh, I see. I am. Oh, I get it. You'd like to go in, but he won't let you. Yeah, something like that. No. No problem at all. Come with me. I'll talk to him. Much obliged, pal. Yeah, thanks, Bunny. Excuse me? Ah, jeez. What the hell's wrong with you, Marty? What? Did I say something wrong? All right. No asks. Let's speak to him. Sir, how do you do? Oh, everything's fine, Mr. Hayworth. Good. Look, this noble pair of pigeons are my friends. They're on the list, okay? Naturellement, sir. And as for you, you owe me one, gentleman. Thanks, old pal. It was my pleasure to help you, as always. All right, looks like we're in. The jazz overwhelmed us. There was no band in sight, yet the music seeped from the walls like years of cigarette smoke and the smell of spilled whiskey. Behind the bar, rows of fancy bottles reflected the harmonious voices of pretty dames and the clinking of crystal glass. It was the kind of place that makes you drunk, even if you've never had a sip. A dangerous place for someone like me. No matter how alien I felt, it was strangely like coming home. Welcome to the Tsar. Well, here we are. Mother of... I take you to the nicest places, eh, sweetheart? Oh, does it mean you're buying, honey? Don't even think about it. Ah, men these days. So we're here to find a dame called Natasha. I have a hunch she won't be hard to find. Let's mingle and try to avoid suspicion. Just like always? No, Marty. Not like always. This time it's for real. All right. What do we got? Oh, we got the wide view here. A fox is a wolf who sends flowers. What? Oh, nothing. I read this somewhere. Fascinating. I didn't know you could read. Very funny. Remember that old case with the fox and the raven? How could I even forget? Absurd, right? All that bloodshed for a piece of cheese. Yeah, hunger can bring out the monster in animals, right? And the wildest and most primordial instincts, no matter how civilized they seem. Fascinating. As you say, Marty. I was hoping to have missed the main event. You're a rusty old cook, that's why. Huh. So says the little butt jam. But, what? That's not even a word. It is now. All because of you. You should feel honored, butt jam. Erk, you know, Sonny, sometimes you are like an evil little child. Big buck. So, where the hell is Natasha? Let's ask that stud over there with those nice gals. Eh, that guy looks way too horny for my taste. Oh man, your sense of humor is as bad as ever. You just need to get used to it again. Egg. Hawk, man. Or is that's a falcon. Hey, there's Philmar. Who? Oh yeah, Philmar. Because that's what he calls himself, right? You know him well? We had some seriously wild cases together, yes. Mainly in Elvira, way before Clawville. Another place and another life. Sounds good. Like the blurb of some cheap Pulp Fiction book. Yeah, it was the exact opposite. But the old bird's worth saying hi to. Well, when in Clawville. Well, well, if it isn't the great Detective Marlowe. Ah, blow me, Sonny. You know I don't use that name anymore. Okay, Mr. Dumbass alias Phil Marlowe. So says someone who tried to go undercover with the Feather Pillow Mafia as a turkey. Right, Mr. Turk Keyman? Hey, that was a long time ago. I was young. And I stick to my principles and my stupidity. Phil Marlowe, and that's that. Don't rile me up, you old fart. Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I'm a little clucked tonight. I know the feeling, pal. By the way, what are you two doing here? You stick out a bit. You here for a good old-fashioned beating? We stick out. Man, you look terrible. Like someone who sat on an electric pole. Don't even ask. I feel exactly like that. You want a case? 5 feet tall, half of that legs, angelic voice, demonic eyes, just the usual. Oh boy. And you? Something like that. Just don't know the exact numbers yet. A dame named Natasha. She called us here. If I'm not mistaken, the joint is hers. Yeah, she owns the joint, amongst others. Well, good luck, guys. That broad has a reputation. She's not the kind to toy with, if you know what I mean. Any useful information? For free? Stop clucking around, Phil. Mar? All right, but just because of the old days. Look for me after you've talked to her. You wouldn't understand what I have to say about her before then. Don't leave unless you're thrown out, in which case, you know the drill. We don't know each other. I'll deny you in a blink. Good to see you too, old pal. We'll be back. Nope, looks like the show's starting. Maybe. She has pretty long legs. I mean, pretty and long legs for a squirrel. But I don't want to be prejudiced. We're not here to stare at pretty squirrels. We're here to investigate, remember? That girl is looking at me. She's just looking at anyone whose glass is empty, Marty. That's all. Oh, no, Sonny. She was staring at me, like, hard. I saw it. Marty, you're imagining things. Oh, wait a second. You see that, right? She's looking right at us with those big, black, weird squirrel eyes. Okay, Marty, don't panic. Just look elsewhere and walk away, slowly. Creepy, little squirrel girl. Oh, it's a horse. I thought it was an Afghan hound. 2 whiskeys, kid, and no horsing around. I've never heard that one before. Sonny, you gotta drive, you know. You're right, Marty. Hey, Longface, give me a glass of tap water too, okay? Yes, sir. Coming right up. That wasn't exactly what I meant. As I recall, you're always bragging about hiding your shotgun in your coat so well no one can see it. Sure, maybe I have it with me now. Ahem. What? Well, do you see that bottle, Marty? That's a 28-year-old Golden Eagle whiskey. Of all the fairy gods, you're right. And they just left it on the bar. Someone ordered it, got so drunk he forgot all about it, so we're confiscating it as evidence? Yeah. More like stealing it. But if it's easier for you. You're twisted, pal. But to be honest, I've got no objections. Well, guess we're stealing. Look, Sonny, I know it's not my place, but Laura's father went to that guy when his, problems had gone too far. You're treading on thin ice, Marty. No, I just, look, fellows at the station are talking, all kinds of things. Moses, Plato, Bosco, and the others. Talking, eh? About what? About why Blood Boil took my badge? About what an untrustworthy alcoholic wreck I am? Look, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. Good. And let it stay that way. At least we're cracking this one together, yeah? Sure, Marty. Let's see. I don't think we can look at these group. Got some henchmen. Oh, we've got Ivan. This guy is certainly not a gangster henchman. Of course he's not. Anything else? Hey, Marty. I bet you wouldn't dare go up to him and ask if he hasn't seen your fur coat. What? Why, I'm mad, yeah, but not suicidal. Are you chicken or what? Piss off, old bird. Yeah, chicken shit. Ooh, movie poster. This Done for Hire by Larry Cougar. That's pretty good. I know this fodder guy. He was kinda good in Death of the Horse. Heh, you've seen every clucking movie. You know, Laura and I go to the movies a lot. When was the last time you went? Exactly 12 years ago. Wow, you remember that precisely. Let me guess. Molly? Yep, our very first date. I see. And what did you watch? I don't remember. I just remember her, and nothing else. You're a clucking poet. I mean it. What else we got? Bogan and Bandicoot, the big sheep. You think this is one of those movies where the femme fatale gets everything in the end, and the poor detective's left stranded? Yep, just like life. Very cool. Is this the one I... Murder My Tweet? Oh, okay. Oh, I've seen this. Hicks Poodle plays a private eye, hired to look for a woman, then gets into some kind of blackmail thing that's connected to the first case and... Hey, Marty. What? Yeah? I don't give a shit. The Loudest Howl. And another Lupus movie. Jeez. Is there nothing today they're not trying to sell with this guy? Whoa, don't be rude, Sonny. Lupus is a timeless genius. Have you seen Predator City? God, I'm still getting chicken bumps. But wait, who's that next to him? Cassandra Ruby Faye. Never heard of her. Cassandra Ruby Faye. Oh, gods, even her name makes me go weak in the knees. Watch your blood pressure, pal. Don't mind me, just... women and guns are my only weakness. No shit. That woman with Ivan, I think I know her from somewhere. Maybe in your dreams, pal. Let's look one more time. The memories are returning. Jeez, just spare me the dirty details. One more. The memories are returning. Oh, same one as before. Isn't that? Yes, it is. The great Ivan Wessler in the flesh. So much for our incognito. You think he noticed us? Only if he's not entirely blind. Great. Just try to act normal. As much as you can. Yep, that's him. The big rat in the flesh. Well, it looks like this unpleasant conversation can't be avoided. All right, let's talk to the guy. Just act nonchalant, my friend. No, it can't be. What now? Is that... Olivia? No, Marty. Hey, Olivia. Are you talking to me? It's me, Marty McChicken. Oh, God. Oh, what a pleasant surprise. The rooster coppers in person. Chicken police, but yeah, Mr. Wessler. You could say so. The name's... Sonny Featherland. Of course. Chicken police. Your partner is, he is... Marty McChicken, sir. I just introduced myself to your lady companion seconds ago. Oh, yes. I'm so happy to see you. Hello, boys. What am I going to do for Ivan? It's got to be nasally. So, to what do we owe this pleasure, gentlemen? Yeah, so, we were just in the neighborhood and...
Cut the crap, Marty. All right, we're here for your sweetheart, Natasha.
Oh, I see.
No big deal. Just a blackmail thing, you know. Horrifying threats written on the wall with blood-red paint. The usual stuff. You must be familiar with this kind of thing.
Oh, yes, indeed. It's a nasty business. But I didn't know that Natasha hired a detective because of this simple matter. To be honest, I understand. I would have taken matters into my own hands, you see, but I'm rather busy. Mr. Wessler had a meeting with Attorney General Hamtaro yesterday, so he's rather tired. If you would excuse us. Oh, dear Olivia, it's okay. These gentlemen are just doing their job, right? And if I've heard correctly, they're notoriously thorough. So how can I help you?
We've got a few questions, if you don't mind.
I'm at your service.
All right, let's ask this rat. Nice bunker you've got here.
Well, thank you. But it's not mine. Not anymore. But I'm sure you already know that. Listen, detective. If you want to know something, please ask straight, huh?
All right, Mr. Wessler. Let's make this a bit more professional. All right, let's question him. Wessler's a tricky guy. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about him, so I have to be cunning. I can't just pin him against a wall. Yet. How did you feel when you heard about the blackmail?
Honestly, I found it ridiculous.
And now?
Now, I'm kind of interested. But I wouldn't call it blackmail yet. They're just empty threats. There were no demands.
Good point.
Thank you. Are we done?
No, not quite.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You seem a very busy man. May I ask what you do?
It's, uninteresting.
Would you elaborate?
I got a small share in the meat substitute business. If the new product works, maybe we can make your job easier.
You mean reduce predation in Clawville?
There are such plans. If you're interested, talk to Olivia, my assistant. She's an expert in what she does. Unlike me.
Thank you. That's it for now. You're very taciturn, Mr. Wessler, though I've heard you're quite the speaker.
Look, I'll gladly talk to anyone about business, and even happier to talk about art, but I'm no fan of interrogation on a night out. Are you even on duty?
Sorry for any offense, Mr. Wessler. Let's talk about something else. Wessler is tougher than I thought, and he's secretive. It's time to gently beat around the bush. Are you and Natasha close?
What do you mean exactly, chicken?
Mr. Featherland, if you please. This could be important. How does she stand on the scale from sweetheart to wife?
Oh, you have some nerve. Ask her that. I'm a gentleman, Mr. Featherland.
Really?
Maybe you can't comprehend it, but I can't ask for her hand until she offers it to me herself.
How chivalrous.
Get to the point, detective.
I've been as quick-tempered
and I can use that to my advantage. I've confounded and softened him with my previous questions. Now it's time to be specific and ruthless. Have there been similar threats in the past? Right to the point, yeah? I get it, but sadly this is a dead end, my friend. No threats like these, whether you believe it or not. Well, it really seems like a dead end, so I'll just back up and try from a different angle. You do that. Would you be willing to testify at the station? You're joking, right? Maybe I can get you an invitation. Believe me, you'd love it. The coffee's good, but the chairs are kind of uncomfortable. You have a peculiar sense of humor. It doesn't work. Yeah, I guess you're right. So, Natasha feels like she's in grave danger, yet she's still going out alone. I know what you're getting at, but I am 100% sure of her loyalty. She's gone out very rarely since they started, and mostly in my company. You know, I'm not sure if you do, but in our social circuits, banquets and dinners are frequent. Illegal gambling nights? You got me there. Yeah, you're right. Natasha is crazy about the roulette wheel. Always putting it all on the red, right? You're a real rotten bastard, Sonny. Although, yes, always on the red. You're right. So, can we meet your lady? I don't see why not. But first, please, listen to her sing. She's on soon. Uh-oh. Sounds like I could do a better job. Let's retry that. How did you feel when you heard about the blackmail? Honestly, found it ridiculous. We're just going to skip through this because we've already... Good point. Thank you. No, not yet. I'm sorry to hear it. Let's get to the meat of the matter, eh? Wink. Reduce predation. Thank you. Am I a suspect? That was fast. Thank you for asking. They're solid. Just ask Olivia. She can enlighten you in this matter too if you're curious. No need. And no, you're not a suspect. Yet. No more than anyone else in Clawville. That's, reassuring. Wessler is tougher than I thought, and he's secretive. It's time to gently beat around the bush. Don't you find these messages dangerous? That specific word is, it's insulting and obscene, and unfortunately, everyone could see it on the street. I'm sure you know they painted it on the wall. I know. Well, yeah. It's unpleasant, but no threat in itself. I put it down to some jealous showgirl or a deluded fan. Nothing more. Jealousy can be dangerous. Most crazies are harmless. You know that firsthand? Anything else? Yeah, let's get to it. Start talking straight, Wessler. There's no point in wasting each other's time. You know what? You're right. And there's no point in spoiling my mood, is there? Olivia will show you out. But if you insist, I can give you an alternative escort. Is that straight enough for you? Nice one, Sonny. Indeed, Mr. Wessler, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Don't be so cocky, Copper. It can be dangerous at your age. Well, My detective meter's not going so great. Business going well, Mr. Wessler? Depends on which one. Real estate, catering, charity, protection, extortion, bribing cops, contraband. The usual. Funny guy. How are the casinos? Fine, thank you. Gambling has always been a good business. Luck is expensive around here. Damn. If only I knew that. I heard gambling was illegal. And I've heard you're not on the force at the moment. Then it seems we have a fair fight. On uneven ground, Mr. Featherland. I'm not sure I'd stand on it for too long if I were you. That was candid. I tried to be clear. Is everything all right between you and Natasha? You don't beat around the bush, do you? Understandable, I guess. Naturally, our relationship is stable and perfect. I'm the setting, she's the gemstone, if you know what I mean. I rarely hear such poetry, but I understand exactly what you mean, Mr. Wessler. So, you have your answer. No recent friction? Wouldn't you like to know? It would make my job easier. It would only lead you astray, so be glad that I tell you no. No friction. Ivan is quick-tempered, and I can use that to my advantage. I've confounded and softened him with my previous questions. Now it's time to be specific and ruthless. Similar threats, right to the point. I think we already asked this. The mob boss and the pussycat, huh? How did you even meet? Are you trying to piss me off, Copper? So I accidentally let some big secret slip out? A simple answer would work. You know Natasha. She's both connoisseur and muse, so how was it? When was it exactly? You don't remember? That's strange. Oh, yeah, the millions, of course. It was like in another lifetime. It happened right here, only this place was called the Millions back then. She was a dancer. Behind the scenes, I arranged opportunities for her on the big stage. Maybe she still doesn't know it was me. Then one day I invited her for a drink, with the promise that if she was willing to meet me, I'd buy the place for her. I guess she was willing. The next day she had the club in her name. Well, that is romantic. There are many kinds of romance, Birdman. There's cheap and there's expensive. You get what you can afford. Do you live in the same house as Natasha? Oh, you're really something. Natasha's a free woman, but mostly, yeah, at my place in Goldtown. But she has her own kind of a weekend house. How often does she use the weekend house? Every other weekend, roughly. I see. That's very important information. Yeah, if you say so. Is she completely alone when she's there at the weekend? As I've told you, Natasha's a free woman. She's an adult. She doesn't need an escort or... she didn't need one until now. Are you afraid for her? You know, a big star like her, alone in that big house. I never said a black car doesn't drive by 2 or 3 times a day, but it's just caution. I'm not a monster, after all, am I? I suppose not. I think we already asked this one, too.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at, but, illegal gambling nights, you got me. Always bets on red. Did I do better? Okay, I did a little better. I'm rusted. I think I can accept that. Thank you for your time. We'll be seeing you. I have no doubt about that, unfortunately. Yeah, we should, grab a coffee or something, Olivia, you know, for old time's sake. Pleasure to meet you, gentlemen. Goodbye. Oh. Please take a seat. The show's gonna start soon. Gah.
Bourbon moon hangs in the sky. My man has left with a golden smile. This is so funny. You can kill me, honey. I'm already dead inside. My body is an empty bottle. Come on, baby.
Sonny.
Say, Chloe's still lying in my bed, and it's dead.
And it's dead. That was, unique. Oh, I can't do generic Russian accent even though she's got the surname. Oh, that is cute. Nobody's ever given me such a unique compliment before. Forgive me. My name is Santino Featherland. I thought so. You look more or less like I imagined. More or less? Sometimes less is more, Mr. Featherland. You were amazing, dear, as always. Could you be my little furball and fetch me a cocktail? Oh, but of course. Ivan will be back soon. We'll have a few minutes to talk, then he'll end the conversation and throw you both out. With all due respect, ma'am, we're not that easy to get rid of. Doesn't matter who's trying, believe me. Doesn't matter, he'll do it. That's why I'm telling you. I don't want a scene. My room's upstairs. Meet me there in 20 minutes. Come alone, Sonny. You'd be too conspicuous otherwise. Hey. I understand. You know, they call him Target Marty at the station. I don't have time, Mr. Featherland. Sure thing, Natasha. I'll come to your room. 3 knocks, a short pause, then another 3. I'll be waiting. Go, before he comes back. I knew she was trouble the first time I saw her. She wore danger like a perfume. It was simply part of her being, and it attracted me like light attracts the moth people. I wanted to be the microphone as she whispers her melodies, or the pillow she rests her feet on while reading some cheap romance. I wanted to be her nightdress, barely touching, barely covering her marble skin. But I was a cop, and a lifetime wouldn't be enough to rid myself of what a woman like her hides under her makeup. Keep your distance, Sonny. Keep your distance. Gee, that is a
unique picture. And kind of daring. I admit I've never seen anything quite like it before. Yes, I admit it is a little daring. I keep it. It evokes good memories. A precious old friend of mine, a most wonderful artist. He's got an eye, that's for sure, considering his model. Was that supposed to be some kind of compliment? I don't know. I don't compliment often. Not on purpose, anyway. You're funny. Oh, look at that. I bet you spend a lot of your time staring into the mirror. Do you even recognize yourself? Maybe you were trying to be rude, but, that's a very good question. I was just trying to be rude. Oh, really? Well then, I'm sorry. Don't mention it. I adjust myself in my chair. I've been sitting here a while. This woman's aware of her charm, and she knows how to use it. A rare and dangerous combination. How do you like your bourbon, Mr. Featherland? In a glass. But thanks. I had a couple before I came. I feel like this may be a long night. I hope it doesn't bother you if I have one myself. I get offended if women don't drink in my company. Oh, you are a funny guy. So I've been told. Anyway, lovely room. Yes, look, Mr. Featherland. It's sunny. Saves us a lot of time. Okay, sunny. So, why am I here? Men tend to babble in my presence. It must be exhausting. It is, but you're not the type to beat around the bush. Is it too banal if I tell you it's an occupational hazard? Terribly. So, can I start the unpleasant questions? I've asked you here so you can do what you do best. Really? I thought you asked because you wanted me to investigate for you. But if you'd rather be drinking... You do have a sense of humor. How reassuring. Only if I'm a bit hungover. That's usually quite common. Oh, please drop the act about being the alcoholic, heartbroken ex-cop, Sonny. It would undoubtedly suit you, but I've seen you scanning my room. From the second you set foot in here, you started working and everything gets sorted in your brain, am I right? That's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, it's something like that. Well then, Sonny, come at me. That's something I don't hear often. With pleasure. All right, let's interrogate. Natasha is a confident woman. I can exploit that, but I must be careful. Every part of her oozes danger. That was a remarkable performance. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Do you perform here frequently? You're also the owner, if I'm not mistaken. Sadly, I don't have the time, but the stage still calls my name, and I perform just a few times a year, and always with a new song. So that was all the excitement. I have many admirers, if that's what you mean, yes. The place is very elegant, and, so's your room. Why, thank you. I kind of feel like I'm in a museum. That depends on the kind of museum. The kind with nice things. Ooh. Suspiciously nice things. Just like you. Do you think I'm suspicious? We'll see about that. Try me. Do you think one of your admirers might be behind the threats? Those who admire me usually idolize me. No, I don't think it's one of them. You know, the soul of an animal is extremely complicated. Sometimes all it takes is a bad look or some small rejection to turn admiration into hate. That's a stillborn theory. No one hates me if they once loved me, Mr. Detective. Oh, I see. Do you have any material evidence concerning the threats? You may think I'm irresponsible, but I didn't keep any of it. I simply couldn't bear to look at them. Didn't you think maybe the police would need it? I didn't think I needed the police. Moreover, do you think the girlfriend of Ivan Wessler would ever turn to the cops? I see. So, what about me? How do I come into the picture? It sounds ridiculous, but you're my last hope. That does sound ridiculous, but I accept. My ego and my old habits. You can't do anything else, can you? Something like that. A leopard can't change its spots. Deep behind the diamond skin lies the truth. It doesn't matter how hard Natasha's trying to hide it. She's scared. Now I must concentrate to finally find out what I want to know. What was in those threats, exactly? The message itself is not a threat, it's just a word. But a word again and again is threatening. Exactly. Oh. So? You really don't have any idea which word could be used for a woman like me? I guess I do. Yes. I think I know what it could be. Whore. Cat got your tongue, am I right? You heard it. I said what you were thinking, yes? That was in the message. That was printed on the paper and painted on my wall, in giant red letters. Well, thank you for your honesty. Could the threats have anything to do with the dangerous relationship between you two? You mean I'm a cat and he's a rat? Every interracial relationship has risk, but yes, this one's more conspicuous than most. Clawville's a very open and free city, but I guess you see more radical transgressions than I do. One of the most common causes in homicidal and predatory cases, ma'am, so yes. Well, I don't know about that. Nobody ever questioned our relationship openly. We are what we are, and you know, if you're interested in my personal feelings, danger fills our relationship with a flavor no other can replace. It must be one interesting relationship, that's for sure. I'm not sure I can feel the same, but I can certainly understand it. Maybe one day you'll experience it. Sonny, have you ever been with a predator before? Well, I mean, roosters can be. I mean, they're omnivores, but you know, they got the forward-facing eyes of a predator. Well, that's unsteady ground, Natasha. Let's turn the questioning around, if you don't mind. As you wish, Sonny. How many fools like me have you used up, Natasha? In all my life? Well, just forget it. I don't want to know. Curiosity killed the cat. No pun intended. I'm just joking. You're not a fool, Sonny. I know that was supposed to be kind of an insult, but it usually rolls right off me. I can't take cock-a-doodling, so you can put aside the strutting stuff while you're talking to me. Fair point. Broadcast received, ma'am. Natasha is a mysterious woman, but I must gouge out at least one of her secrets. Enough games. It's time to know why I'm here. Stop beating around the bush. How do you know Molly? I'm prepared for that question, but it's still not easy. You knew very well that if you threw in the name of my wife, I'd come to you, no matter how vague and suspicious the case was. I just want to know if you're simply a manipulator, or you're really that desperate. I really know her. I'm not lying. Oh, really? How? Were you a nurse too? Forgive me, but I don't think so. Don't be rude and so cynical, Sonny. I'm sorry, but that's me when feline claws are at my throat. Molly is an old and good friend of mine. She has nothing to do with this. But I knew that if I didn't mention her to you, you wouldn't have come. Yeah, Natasha, you're right there. I knew you were a decent fowl, that you would help me. That's what you're famous for. Don't go there. Flattery doesn't work. Look, forgive me. I shouldn't have brought your wife into this. You're right. You shouldn't have. But to be honest, I don't think she's my wife anymore. On paper she is, but I haven't seen her in years. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Really? I did. I knew. I checked you out before I sent Deborah. Clock me. This case is getting more and more intriguing. What exactly do you want from me? You are really as good as they say you are. And I'm not selling lucky dip, Sonny. Find them, whoever they are, and... whatever it takes? Not exactly, but something like that. You know, if I didn't see the speck of fear behind the confidence shining in your eyes, I wouldn't take the case. I'm not afraid. You're terrified, Natasha. Don't be ashamed. You must solve this as soon as you can. Money's not an issue. Rusted. Okay. I think we're gonna. We'll see if we can get through this dialogue. But if this ends within the next 4 minutes, that's gonna be it for me today. Just excuse me. Just one more thing, Sonny. Natasha, please come to 37 Rochester Street in Flowertown tonight. I'd like to show you something that could be of great help in your investigation. I was afraid this was coming. Why there? Why not here and now? It's something I keep hidden there. I won't take the risk of Ivan or one of his men seeing it. Isn't Ivan too dangerous to keep secrets from? Sonny, a woman is naked without her secrets. I knew you would understand. Oh, yeah, I understand everything. So, when do we meet? The night is almost over. I'll be there in an hour. Don't be early, and don't be too late. Look, Natasha, you know. Please, This is very important to me.
Sure, I get it. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Until later, Natasha.
Goodbye, Sonny.
Okay. I think with that, we're going to call this a stream. It definitely went in a different direction than I expected, but you know what? I'm liking this game. It's definitely a very different vibe from what I've been doing, and while it's not exactly how I expected, it's cool that Everlasting Summer got taken care of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock some stuff around. I'm going to switch back to the just chatting. And I'd like to thank you two for watching and listening. We'll pick up next Sunday with Chicken Police, the first episode of it. And yeah, that's all I got. Check me out tomorrow in the evening. Me and Bros will be back to Elden Ring. Thanks for watching, and I've got to get up and stretch because I think, play D&D today. All right, you all have a good one.